Kwasi here, and in this video, I want to share with you the 3 biggest lessons that I wish I knew when I first got into entrepreneurship and I first started my business, and really what helped me grow my business from 0 to 100K months within 11 months of starting it. And by the end of this video, I want you to really stick around to it, because how I internalize these lessons, if you start to get them now, if you're starting off in business, if you already have a business and you're trying to really grow up your revenue, you're really wanting to scale it up, understanding these and crafting the foundations with these are really going to help you. Okay, so I really want you to pay attention to the very end of this video, because this was something that took me a lot of trial and error to figure out. So before we get started with this video, I want to quickly announce that a couple of spots have opened up for the free one-to-one consult with me and my team for the Reality Mastery Program. Please wait around till the end of the video for the announcement on that. And with that, let's get started. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the 3 most important things that I learned as an entrepreneur and what I actually wish I knew when I first started off. Okay, and without further delay, let's get into it. The number 1 thing I wish I knew is that you've got to have a clear vision, right? It sounds very silly, but most people overlook this, and I did too. So to give you an example of what I mean by this, okay, it can be very easy to just say, yeah, just have a clear vision. But what I mean by this is we're always focused on, when I got started, at least with entrepreneurship, I was focused on moving away from something rather than actually moving towards something. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, I was wanting to move away from that full-time career. Okay, I wanted to move away from the corporate world. I wanted to move away from the engineering job. And the emotional intensity towards avoidance was stronger than the desire. The emotional intensity I had towards the desire of getting into entrepreneurship. I got into entrepreneurship because I wanted to escape something, okay? So the focus was on the movement away from rather than the movement towards something else. To give you an example, I had a vague idea of financial freedom, and I tried out every little attempt to make something stick for myself. Okay, let's say stock market trading, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, all of these things I tried, and I saw that nothing really stick. And what's interesting is we have people in the program who for 10 years have tried these exact same things and nothing is stuck. Why that is because your heart's not truly into it. If your heart's not truly into it, you're never going to be able to build that revolutionary thing that you want to build, waking up excited every single morning to work on it and grow it. Okay, your heart's always going to be somewhere else. So that wasn't something, those things weren't something that I truly wanted to do. Okay, for some people, maybe it is, maybe it is something, let's say for Warren Buffett, he loves investing, he lives and breathes investing. But for me, that wasn't something that I wanted to do. So you got to find out what it is you truly want to get to. And then the monetization will come afterwards. Okay, really work on moving towards your heart's goals. If you're fully in alignment with that, you don't even have to worry about money. Okay, you just got to simply energetically align with the money. Right? So the number 1 thing that I was missing was that clear vision. I knew what I didn't want, but not really clearly what I did. And once I figured that out, I really clearly defined it. It's what we do in week 1 of the Reality Mastery Program. Once I really clearly defined what I want my life to stand for, why I'm even doing all of these things, who I need to become to achieve that, why I wake up in the morning. That's when it started to click for me. That's when that forward movement towards what I wanted started to even happen. Okay? Because if predominantly your mind is focused on, oh shit, I want to get to that, then you'll be able to get to a certain level because you'll come from resistance, but you won't be able to get to that higher revolutionary levels. Okay? Maybe you'll do a 5K month, maybe you'll do a 10K month, but it'll always be inconsistent because within yourself, you'll always be like, oh, I achieved the goal. What's next? You know what I mean? So you've got to have a big vision, but also a clear one to help exacerbate that forward movement. That's number 1. The number 2 thing that I wish I knew was being really truly process oriented rather than results oriented. Most people come in with a certain financial goal and then they try to figure out, okay, how do I get to it? How do I get to that financial goal? Instead of focusing on the process that will lead to it. What do I mean by that? Okay, there's a key thing that I missed once I got into entrepreneurship, and you just solely focus on the results everything is giving you. Okay, you look at the YouTube video, how many views did it generate? Oh, how many calls did this video book? How much money did I get off this of these calls. You're always looking at the result rather than the process, that longer term thing that it's aligned to, right? The results are only a marker for the correct process being in place. That's all it is. So really, like, what I didn't focus on was actually solving problems. Okay? And I wish I focused on this. So focus on the byproduct of money, the process that brings money, aka solving problems. People will pay to solve a very, very painful problem. Okay, so to give you an example of this, I can't tell you how many times we have to turn away clients from the Reality Mastery program because we just, it's not in alignment. It's like, I can't solve that problem. Like, I can't make you grow 10 inches or a foot in height, so I can't really solve that problem. Or, other people who have certain problems, which is probably a strategic solution. Maybe your internal world's in the right place, but, maybe you're just missing the strategy. So it wouldn't be a good fit. I would just be taking your money without giving you a solution. It's got to be a win-win for everyone, okay? You can't just take people because they're just begging to join and they see the value in it. But also, you've got to be certain that you can solve that problem. It's got to make sense to you. This is for the longer term in your business, okay? If you just take anything, then you have no integrity. If you don't have integrity, you're not gonna, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. You know what I mean? So you always got to have that clear vision and the boundaries. When you have boundaries, then getting to the goal becomes easier because you're not spreading yourself too thin. So you really got to clearly know, again, that comes from clarity, what it is you will work with, what problems you solve and what you're good at solving. Sometimes you lean over the edge and you try to solve another problem, which is great, which is what you should do. You should expand your horizon and see what problems you could solve. Let's say, for my first few clients, there's also a big mistake people who start up businesses and coaching businesses make. They always get stuck to that certain avatar. They're like, I only work with this person and this person only. But if you can solve a problem for another person, right? Let's say they don't fit the avatar, but you can solve their problem. By all means, work with them. That's where that certainty comes from, knowing that you could solve the problem, right? After diagnosing your situation, I can see that, we can improve here and here, and just honestly tell them, look, I typically don't work with people like this, but I'm willing to give it a try. We've had people of all sorts come into the program and, we've worked with them and actually have gotten them results, even though I've never worked with that certain caliber of people before, certain kind of person with that certain kind of problem before. But looking at the source from which that problem generates, right? Let's say there's anxiety disorders that these people have, or they have panic attacks. Let's say when I got my first panic attack client, typically I work with entrepreneurs and professionals, but that's something I felt confident I could solve because looking at the core issue of it, what was causing the panic attacks, that's something that could be solved. So I made the offer and they turned out to be a great client anyway. Do you see what I mean? So unless and until you try, you'll never know. So always be focused on solving problems rather than just your attachment to what you think you can do and who you think you can work with and getting money. So that's that sweet spot between making an offer to everyone versus not making an offer to anyone, which is finding the balance and actually focusing on solving problems. If you have a coaching or a consulting business, this is probably key for you. Like learning, whose problem can I solve? What problem can I solve? What is the problem this client is having? Can I solve that? If yes, work with them. That's number 2, focusing on solving problems and not just getting money. And number 3, this was something that was extremely key for me, and it also took me a long time to figure out within myself, was that, focus on working smart and not hard. And, what I mean by this is essentially this. When you first get started off into entrepreneurship and your own business, it becomes more about waking up at 5:30 than it does about helping people and making money. Really think about that. It becomes more about you and getting yourself to do the work than it does about helping other people. When you shift that focus from me and myself to helping someone else, that's when forward movement, that's when your business actually starts to grow. So I don't even wake up at 5:30 anymore. Like sometimes I'll sleep until 7, sometimes I'll sleep until 8, maybe even 9, on a work day. But in general, most of the time, I'm well disciplined enough to catch myself to see what's working and what isn't. If waking up at 9 a.m. isn't serving me, I'll catch myself. When I do need to wake up at 7 a.m. or 5:30 a.m., I'll do that. But really what I saw was that getting rest was actually helping me grow my business. Coming to my calls with a great energy and communicating with my clients with great energy was more important, gave me better results than actually just, tiring myself and draining myself, getting attached to one principle I had of, I'll always wake up at 5:30 no matter what. So learn to put your shit on the side. Don't get too attached to your standards. Be open to changing and become flexible based on what the situation requires of you. That is true freedom. True freedom isn't like getting attached to your way of doing things, but rather becoming flexible based on what life requires of you, based on the goals you have, okay? So that's the first part of working smart versus working hard. But also another part is relaxing and, burnout and finding that sweet spot between the two. What would happen in this entrepreneurship career was that the focus on getting clients was so strong, especially when I first started, if I don't get a client, if I don't hit that certain revenue month, then I can't show to my parents that I can quit this job and I can be financially viable and sustainable. Then I won't be able to do it, right? So that focus was so strong that every single day was a live or die scenario, right? I had to get a client, I had to. So the importance level, the meaning I attached to it was so high. I had to work hard every single day. I had to push myself every single day. I have to. When you come in with that level of importance, generally you're going to create a resistance, okay? When you put too much meaning on something, naturally resistance occurs because you're telling yourself that you're not worthy of that, of just relaxing into that. So I was trying to fight to keep this version of myself alive rather than relaxing into this version, okay? So let yourself relax or else you're going to burn out. And find that sweet spot between what actually helps you relax and not relax too much, aka that sweet spot between effort and surrender, okay? I made a video about this, click up here to check that out, but it's the sweet spot between effort and surrender. You gotta know when to hit the gas, you gotta know when to let the gas off, you gotta know when to put the brakes on. If you keep focusing on just growing your business, if you don't have the systems to, tolerate that, you're probably gonna destroy your business, So you got to know when to ease back on growing and actually build the foundations to sustain a bigger client base, okay? If I just took as many clients as I could, it would probably affect, the service delivery aspect of it. So I'm always very acutely aware of that balance, okay? I'm always leaning over the edge without falling off. That's how you expand your comfort zone without hitting that death zone. There's a death line you don't want to hit, right? And number 3, showing up on your worst days. This is absolutely crucial. How you show up on your worst days really sets the standards for your business and really sets the standards for your life as well. Because you're not always going to have the best days, okay? The truth about entrepreneurship is that some days, maybe on most days, you'll feel burned out, right? But you're working on a bigger vision. Maybe you don't feel so good today. Maybe you don't want to make this video today, but you do it anyways. You do it anyways because you made a commitment to yourself and you're driving forward with a bigger vision, right? Because you think about what you're sacrificing if you don't do this. Because you tell yourself, even if it doesn't go well, at least I showed up. At least I did what I could. Even if I don't close the calls, at least I showed up to the best of my ability. Know that you will get better. And it's, again, something I wish I knew. Having faith that, just do what is possible and in your ability, leave the rest to the universe, right? Because if you drive forward with that vision and you look at that bigger, longer term vision for your life, eventually the universe is going to find a way to make it happen. Maybe temporarily it doesn't happen because, your mind doesn't conceive of it. Maybe you don't hit that revenue this month. Maybe you don't hit it next month. But if you become patient with it, you don't give up, you strive towards it, eventually you're going to hit it. There's no choice. If your conviction is strong enough, eventually the universe will yield to it, okay? And that's what I want to leave you off with. How you show up, even on your worst days, really sets the standards for your business, for your personal life, okay? Your business is a reflection of you. People don't have business problems. They have life problems that reflect out into their business. That's what Tony Robbins said, right? So with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. And just to recap, we talked about the biggest thing that's really helped me grow my business and what I wish I knew, the 3 most important things I wish I knew when I started off, and really what helped me grow from 0 to 100K months in my business consistently. Okay, the number 1 thing is obviously a clear vision And again, that's focusing on what I want to move towards, what I want to create, and the incessant focus on that rather than what I want to move away from. You begin with that, I want to move away from this, but if you really want to end at somewhere or you want to get somewhere, really great, you've got to focus on what you're moving towards, okay? Number 2, becoming more process-oriented rather than results. What's the correct process that will lead to the results? We want to get to the results, but when you focus on the process, the results follow. When you focus on solving problems, money follows. Money is the byproduct of value, okay? People pay to solve painful problems, okay? I will pay for pre-shredded lettuce rather than a lettuce cabbage patch because the solution is packaged to me, right? Because I don't want to cut it up. I pay for the solution. I pay for the thing that solves my problem and saves my time, right? So yeah, with that, focus on solving problems and not just getting money. If you focus on solving problems, the money will follow. Number 3, focus on smart work rather than hard work, okay? You don't have to work hard. You can take days off, you can ease up. As long as you're focusing on the things, that one thing that helps you move forward. It's the 80-20 principle. 20% of the things you're doing right now is producing 80% of the results. What is that 20%? Okay, so don't focus on a million different things. Like people who start off with entrepreneurship get this crazy shiny object syndrome. Before you move on to something else, make sure you exhaust this current thing. Only when it doesn't make sense. Look at it objectively. Look at the results you're producing to influence the process. Before you jump onto that next thing, are you really sure you've tried everything you can? Right? Before you jump onto that next thing, did you exhaust this? Did you give it your all? Even if you have a single shred of doubt, you got to explore that, right? And it becomes more about waking up at 5:30 versus helping your clients actually get results. And find that sweet spot between relaxing and burning out. Like for me, working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, and having that one day of rest is that sweet spot. One whole day when I don't think about business at all is my sweet spot. Not checking my phone after 7:30 p.m. is my sweet spot. Okay? And finally, how you show up on your worst days really defines the standards. It sets the standards for your business, because the ultimate truth is that you're not going to feel motivated every single day. No one ever does. Some days you're going to feel great, other days you're not. It's just that you don't let it affect you. You still drive forward with that vision that you have. And when you learn to do that, your business starts to become consistent. When you become consistent, despite what bullshit happens within you, what your thoughts are, what your emotions are, you still learn to observe them and let them be. You learn to coordinate through them. That's when you truly become a master of your reality. Okay? And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. Please leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of this. It was a different style video, but I suppose there was a lot of requests for this, so I wanted to make this. Okay? Also, again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. And as I mentioned before, the free one-to-one consult with me for the Reality Mastery Program is now open. So this is where either myself or someone from my team will get on a call with you to really diagnose your situation to see if we can help you take it to that next level. Okay, who we typically work with are as follows. First of all, if you're a professional, you're looking to transition out, you've tried all the different business attempts, you've tried the FBA business, the drop shipping, etc., you've tried all of it, and you've seen that nothing's really stuck. And what you see is that it's not an external strategic problem because other people are getting successful with it, but rather it's something internal that's keeping you stuck here, a lack of alignment. Then this is perfect for you. Okay, I encourage you to go ahead and sign up for that consult. If you are an entrepreneur who's stuck at a certain revenue level in your business, or you have an inconsistent revenue, you move up but you just can't maintain it. You can't relax into it. You fight to keep it alive. Okay, and you find that you have all the strategies, the funnels, the tactics and everything. But what's, again, missing is that internal world, okay? Then this is for you as well. Click on the link below to sign up for that, okay? And with that, I conclude this video. Also, I forgot to announce the free Facebook group is open for you to take advantage of. The link for that is also in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, peace.